again. Happy February. Yay! It's the month of love, and you are going to love all of the ideas that I have to share. Today I'll be talking to you about what do we do to create the very best environment and have fantastic questions when it comes to the interview. First thing you want to be able to do is slow people down, okay? Because people are in such a hurry today. And so when you slow people down, what you want to do is have a great welcome center. What I love to do is I call a space in my office a welcome center. I set up all of my refreshments in there. If you watched the 10 at 10 episode on ritual and beauty, you saw how we actually have chalkboards with menus of the different coffees and cookies that we offer. It just looks fantastic. It looks like a little bistro. Very boutique marketing, which is very cool. Slow them down. One of the lines I like to use is I'll say to them, I get the key. I can go right now and open any door in this property, frankly. But before we go walking, maybe we should start talking so that I can make sure that we use your time well to make sure we open the right door. So why don't you have a seat and let's have a cup of coffee. Good line. Turn to somebody and go, booyah, love that line. If you're on the telephone, I love telephone. That I can't get young people to answer their phone today. Crazy. They want to text me, but people still want to talk to you on the phone. 92% of leases go to the person who's most likable. It's because of the leasing agent. It's our personal influence. It's my friend's tone. And so, Tony, I love to pretend that the telephone is my own little radio call-in show. And when it rings, I'm like, quiet on the set. And I get everybody to be quiet, and I take that call like I'm interviewing a guest on my own personal radio show. You know, there's a microphone in that phone, and they can hear everything going on in your office. I called a property one time, and as I was talking to them, I heard maintenance say, just set the traps again. This time we're going to catch them. Oh, I'm like, no, thank you. I don't think so. I like to have a mirror across from my phone so that I can see that I'm smiling, because, you know, you can hear a smile. Your mouth is like a musical instrument. I like to have a place to put my notes. I like to have my interview note cards ready with my script, and I like to get involved with questions, stay focused, and I love to do something extra. I started out waiting a table, so one of the last things I do with people is I ask them how they take their coffee, if they drink coffee. They tell me exactly how they take it, and when they come to my welcome center to visit, I make them a cup of coffee exactly to their order. I just make notes of it. One of the key question strategies that you want to be able to let you know, write down the letter Q, and then put an arrow to it, and then put AQ, capital A, capital Q. One strategy is they ask a question, and then you give them an answer, and you finish with a question. The other one is Q-Q. Now, QAQ is they ask a question, how much are your own bedrooms? You say they start at about $1,250. When did you need it? So I finish with a question. If they say how much are in bedrooms, I could say, when do you need it? Because I'm checking availability. But always finish with a question. Write this down. Finish with the question. Because if they call up and say, do you have any 2 bedrooms available? You say yes. They say, how late are you open? Till 6 o'clock. They say, one more question. You give them an answer. They hang up. There you are, telling it. You're staring at your telephone traffic log. What are you going to write down now? You got nothing. You got no name. You got no traffic source. You know nothing. You know nothing. You know why? Because you didn't ask questions. So questions in the interview is the most empowering thing you can do. You think that when Miss Oprah interviewed Mr. No, I Didn't Armstrong, that she didn't have questions ready to go? So we need to have great questions. I'm going to share some of mine. Now, remember, this is a video. There's a pause button. So if you need to pause this and write some of these down or kind of reel back into them, because I am 10 at 10. I am zooming. Here we go. These are me. These are my, so tell me about a question. So here's the first one. Where have you looked? Great question. I want to know what competitors they have seen. How many places have you visited? How long have you been looking? Did you find anything yet that you like? I want to know who is in first seat, who's in first chair right now. And they'll tell you. If you ask them, they will tell you. It's like a spiritual law. You have not because you asked not. Then I like to ask them, are you having fun yet? Because I'm so much fun. And they're like, no. Well, let's just end it right here. Okay, so welcome home. Let me go show you your new apartment. I want them to realize, why are you still looking? I asked them, what did they like? What did they dislike? What are your goals for today? Huge question. What are your goals today? Because remember, people have to look 60 days, they have to give notice 60 days out, right? So they might be looking for an apartment to move in July, but so they got to give 60 day notice. So that's July and June and May. I should never have done, I'm going backwards now. So in April, they're looking for a July 1st move. But it makes sense because they want to find a place before they actually give up. So you want to say, what did you want to do today? Some people may be visiting the area and flew in, and I'm here today and I want to make a decision. I like to serve people on the agenda and the time frame they have. Find out what they've got going on. What's your time frame for your decision? When do you plan to decide? Everybody asks when you plan to move. We know. So they're going to move July 1st, right? When do you plan to decide? You know what that might be? April 30th. And so I want to set everything alive. I ask them, what are your deal makers and what are your deal breakers? Great. Tell me about it questions. I always like to find out about their preferences in the apartment. So here's some of those questions. What do you love about where you live? Great question. Find out what they love. If you can piggyback and you've got those same things, bam. What do you want different from your new apartment? Find out what's really on their site right now. What is the most important thing you're looking for? And what are you flexible on? Big difference between need and want. I mean, people all want everything, but they don't really need it. And so you got to find out what people's needs are and then what they're flexible on and their likes. Then you're going to ask them about furniture. Let me tell you the power of furniture. Where's my? It's so important. I got my court red on. It's so important you talk to them about furniture. You know why? Floor plan. Now, if you only got one floor plan open, you still need to know furniture. Because furniture, the reason why they're checking all of this out is to make sure it fits. The floor plan is the dressing room. It's that moment when they try it on for size. They want to see if it fits. It fits what? Their furniture. And so furniture is a big part of the interview. It may influence whether they're going to be on the first, second, third floor, depending on if they have something heavy or a piano or something. Furniture might have to do with the layout. It might have to do with a lot of different things. Find out. Also, when you've got their furniture information in advance, you'll be able to walk into the second bedroom and say, so this is Matthew's room. Because they told you that their son's name was Matthew and he has a bunk bed. You found out furniture and it gave you a key to unlock the story. And so what people have and what people are bringing is a big part. And so as we're figuring out what fits in, the furniture is such a powerful part of the process. I also want to find out which floor plan works for them. So at this point, I might have them go to the internet if we're on the telephone, or I might pull a floor plan out in front of them if they are actually live in my office. One last thing I want to talk to you about the interview, and we'll do more on the interview, is about names. It's the very first thing on the guest card. What's your name, right? But the truth is that name is a big, huge part of their story. Now, my name is T-O-N-I, Tony with an I. I have people spell it with a Y, and it just breaks my heart. There's Mary, M-A-R-I. There's Ashley. You can spell that a ton of different ways. When you ask people their name, you always want to make note of it anyway. Ask them how they spell it. I want you to have great interview questions. I want you to make sure when people come in, they're greeted by either a great telephone tone or a beautiful welcome center, that you slow them down and you're ready and prepared with interview questions that are going to make sure and rock their world. So I want to hear conversation. So give me your ideas. How do you set up your environment? What do you do on the telephone that's different? How do you set up your telephone environment? What is your favorite interview question? Share your success. Share some photographs from your office. Thank you again for coming to 10 at 10. We'll see you next week.